Okay, so I really understand when it comes to learning a new strategy, or when it comes to copying someone's strategy. It always gets hard when you have tried to copy someone's strategy and it is actually working for him and it's not working for you. Or you try to backtest it, it works, but when you begin for testing it or trading it on a live account, it doesn't work for you. I have been in that spot and I'm going to try to answer some of your questions that you've been asking yourself. For example, asking yourself, why do mentors give their strategies for free on YouTube, and then after they always teach the same strategy in their premium groups? So they just miss out on a few things to tell you and you're slipped off. So this video is going to try to show you that, and it's also going to try to enlighten you that if you're buying a strategy from someone, these are the things that you don't want to miss out for him to tell you, because if he misses to tell you this, the strategy will be hard for you to trade. Okay, so the first thing is pairs. So I know you're telling yourself pairs, repairs. Some people always tell you, I'm trading ICT, I'm trading SMC, and this strategy works on all pairs. That's very wrong. I've been here for a long period of time. It's now 2 years, clocking to 2.5. But I know pairs that don't work with SMC. Try trading gold on SMC. Gold never reaches the order blocks, or whenever it reaches, it passes through, or whenever it reaches, doesn't give a confirmation. So always check which pair is the person trying to demonstrate the strategy on, or if you can actually reach out on that person and ask him which pair trades best with that strategy, that will be a good hit point for you to trade that strategy profitably without any problem. Okay, so the next thing is sessions. So always try to know in which session does that strategy, or does that specific strategy for that specific person work in. Remember, there are strategies that want high liquidity times or high liquidity sessions, and there are strategies that need low liquidity sessions. For example, when you're scalping New York, yes, it's always better to scalp in New York and London, but if you scalp in Asia, the market is always consolidating, so you will be always taken out without you knowing. So if you get someone's scalping strategy and implement that real strategy in Asia, yes, it may work for you, but it may not work for you the best way that it's supposed to be working. So you should always know in which right session should you trade this strategy for it to work for you best. Always and always watch out on that when you're copying someone's free strategy. Okay, so the third thing is the risk management. Risk management always contains a lot of things. Risk management contains stop losses, risk management contains take profits, risk management contains break-evens, risk management contains when to close on or when not to close, which is called position managing or position management. So if someone doesn't tell you that my strategy, I always take a first TP and a second TP, you get, it doesn't even need for him to sell you a course. If he gives you a whole strategy without telling you that about the risk management of the strategy, then he has done nothing for you. Because if you don't know when to close or when not to close, when to hold or when not to hold, it's going to be very hard for you to trade that strategy. If you don't know the right stop loss to use, you may find someone using a stop loss of minimum 5 pips. If he doesn't tell you that, or if you don't get to know that, then he has not done anything for you, even though the strategy is free. You understand? So if someone doesn't tell you that, I always take my take profits fully. If it's a 1 to 10, I'm taking it, and if it's a 1 to 20, I'm also taking it. If he doesn't tell you that, so he has done nothing for you. So you should always get to know all the right risk management for a strategy. And here I'm talking about know the right take profits to take, know the right stop losses to take, know when to break even, know when to hold, know when to enter and when not to enter, you understand? So know how to do the position management very well. So taking me to my fourth point, which is the strategy being very hard for you to understand. So if the strategy is actually very hard for you to understand in the first day you watch the strategy, don't even bother yourself trying out that strategy. I have actually been here for a long time, in that I have always tried out very many strategies, but I came to understand that if you watch a strategy from the first day, strategies always also have love at sight. If you don't get love at sight for a strategy, just know the strategy is going to be hard for you to trade. Remember, a strategy is something that should be very, very, very simple for you to understand, so that you can implement it every day without even having any hardships. So for example, I tried implementing liquidity stuff. I also tried liquidity stuff for the SMC thing, but it actually failed. And I decided to trade supply and demand with market structure, of which, if you were to compare those two things, they are actually the same, cause we always take the same entries, me and my brother, whom we trade together. He trades SMC and I trade supply and demand. We always take mostly the same entries, but it's a different strategy, just because the other one is complex and this one is so easier for me to implement every day. It doesn't need any IQ. Just use your brain and see. If the strategy is so hard for you to implement, just know the thing is going to be hard for you. And this is the reason why most strategies are so hard. Some people create strategies for themselves. Like, someone comes up with a strategy, packing it with many things and many terms for him to understand it very well. For example, if you see ICT never created anything from scratch. No, whatever he created, he found it here, but he gave it new names. You understand? He gave it new names and he gave it new terms, in that it's better for him to understand it daily without any hardships. So if someone packs his strategy with indicators, liquidities, sessions, supply and demand, levels, trend lines, you get, when the strategy is very cluttered, to him it will be very easy, because he even doesn't need to do the lines on the charts. But to you, it will always be hard for you to understand. So always get that point at first glance for you to understand if you will really manage to trade the strategy. Okay, so those are the 3 points you should always put in consideration when you're always learning a new strategy in place. You should always know the right risk management. You should always know the right pairs to trade the strategy. Always ask those people. If you can't ask them, reach out to them on their comments or in their social media accounts, or you can even stalk them. If you're learning something for free, you can even stalk someone to get the right information. You should always know the right sessions, and you should always know if the strategy is easier for you to trade. So thank you for watching the video. If you like such content, I'm always here to give you free and genuine honesty content. You can subscribe to my channel. See you in another video.